Hey friend, Chris here from MyLogicProRules.com, the website that helps you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro. This month on the channel and website, we're celebrating the fact that Logic Pro Rules is turning 5 years old. That's 5 years of videos, emails, and posts, all designed to help you get the most you can out of the best all around, Apple's Logic Pro. And just in the spirit of having fun this month, I thought it'd be fun for me to share with you my personal Logic Pro journey. Basically, my musical journey that led me to become a Logic Pro user, and also what was the inspiration and motivation to start the website and channel. But before we dig into any of that, something that I think will be even more fun for you and for others is that Logic Pro Rules is hosting its first ever giveaway for the next week. And this is one of many giveaways that will be occurring this birthday month for the website and channel. So this first giveaway is being supported by the amazing developer of Logic Pro specific applications and tools, Speakerfood. Starting today until next Wednesday, October 19th, 2022, you have the chance to sign up for the possibility of winning one of 5 free licenses that we're giving away of Speakerfood's amazing Logic Pro application, PlugSearch. In a nutshell, PlugSearch is a plugin search tool that allows you to quickly speed up your workflow in Logic Pro. I love this application. I've been using it for a couple years now. And basically, PlugSearch is an app that runs in the background on your Mac. You open the application once, and it'll live in the taskbar right at the top on your Mac. When you're working in Logic Pro and you decide to yourself, hey, I want to open maybe an audio effect or a MIDI effect or an instrument, you don't have to dig through all the different menus to find your chosen audio effect or MIDI effect or instrument. Instead, you hover your mouse over an empty slot in either of these 3 categories, and you press a modifier that you specify in PlugSearch. So this could be Control or Command. Once you do, a text-based tool will pop up, and you just type in the name of the plugin that you're thinking of. And once you hit return, PlugSearch instantly loads that plugin, that MIDI effect, that instrument into your sessions. It's amazing. It solves so much menu diving for you as you're working. It just keeps you in a creative flow state. And again, I love this application. It's completely free to sign up for this giveaway. You just click on the first link that you see in the description below this video. And that link will be available starting today until the end of the day next Wednesday, October 19th, 2022. And once you click on that link, it'll take you to the Logic Pro Rules website to an email form where you just fill out your email and your name and hit submit. Keep an eye on your inbox for any inbound emails that are, basically double opt-in emails to make sure that you really want to be part of this giveaway. And once you confirm, you're in the running for the chance to win one of these 5 licenses that we're giving away for PlugSearch. Next Friday, October 21st, 2022, I'll announce the names of the 5 randomly chosen winners of these PlugSearch licenses. And keep an eye out on this channel for other giveaways. Good luck. All right, so today I just want to swap stories together. I want to share with you my personal musical journey that led me to become a Logic Pro user and what led me to become such an evangelist of this DAW and start the website and channel Logic Pro Rules. But I want to hear from you as well. In fact, if you can leave a comment below that just shares, how did you end up getting into Logic Pro? What do you love about the application? And really, this month is really meant to be a celebration of the fact that we're all using this awesome DAW that allows us to make and create awesome music. No doubt each of our musical journeys started way before we ever used or knew about Logic Pro or used an Apple product like a Mac or an iPhone. And my journey started back in the 90s. And I'm not going to give you my whole history, just a couple bullet points for context. But in 1996, I'm in middle school. That's a lifetime ago. And I'm introduced to a classmate who basically introduces me to punk rock, but specifically one album by one band, and that is the album, I have it here, Insomniac by Green Day. And this album changed everything for me. I mean, it probably changed the entire course of the trajectory of my life, just this one album. And it really taught me that music could be energetic and provoking. And really the entire ethos of punk rock is once you learn how to play a power chord, and you put a couple power chords together in sequence, you got yourself a song. And that blew my mind because I never felt like I was a musical individual. And I was like, wow, maybe I myself could play music too, just like these bands that I love. So fast forward to 1999 and well into the early 2000s, I started a band with some high school buddies, a punk band. And well past high school, I'm playing in bands. And there's this whole DIY nature to all of this where basically we're booking our own shows, we're booking our own tours, we're recording our own albums, we're releasing them, we're promoting our shows and our records all ourselves. And it was amazing. It was fantastic to be able to play to one guy in a basement in Baltimore, Maryland, but also play to a couple hundred people, in a club in Florida at a festival. And in the midst of all this, in 2008, one of these bands is recording. And instead of going to the studio, up until then, we had always gone to a studio to record, right? If you want to record your album or your EP, you had to go to a studio, you had to book time, and spend like a week there working on your album. But in 2008, we meet a friend named Jordan. And Jordan is absolutely crucial to this entire story. Without Jordan, there would be no Why Logic Pro Rules. And instead of going to the studio, Jordan brought the studio to us, to our rehearsal space. He brought his MacBook, an old white MacBook. He brought his, I believe, a PreSonus Fire Studio interface. It's an 8-channel interface, and a bucket of microphones and cables. And he's using Logic Pro. Now, I wasn't that aware at the time, but he comes to our rehearsal space, which is just this square. It's just a wooden square. There's no acoustic treatment. It sounds terrible. It's cold. But nonetheless, Jordan records, edits, and mixes an awesome EP for my band. And so this is such an inflection point for me in my musical journey, because a couple years later, when that band, disbanded, I thought to myself, well, hey, I want to continue recording and producing and releasing my own music. Maybe if Jordan can do that, I can too. So at that time, I owned a Dell laptop, a PC, because that's all I could afford at that time. So I tried to find recording software that, fit my system. I tried out Fruity Loops for a while. I actually purchased a license, which is now FL Studio, but I tried out Fruity Loops, tried out Adobe Audition, several others, but all along the way, I never felt at home in any of these recording applications, and they all looked alien to me. They made no sense to my brain, and honestly, I just wasn't achieving the sounds I wanted for my rock-based music. So finally, I just called Jordan and I asked him, hey, Jude, what do you use? What do you recommend that I use? And he said to me, verbatim, dude, you just need to get a Mac and you need to get a copy of Logic Pro 8. That's all you need, and you'll have everything that you need to record your own music. So I followed those instructions exactly. I purchased a used white MacBook from a couple on Craigslist for about $600. And then Jordan lent me his copy of Logic Pro 8 and his license. Sorry about that, Apple. But the moment I opened Logic Pro on my used MacBook, I felt instantly at home. Visually, everything made way more sense to my brain. It just seemed so much more accessible. Everything just seemed much more organized. And the tools that came with Logic Pro 8, such as Guitar Amp Pro and the bass sounds and the Apple Loops for drums and Ultra Beat. Logic Pro 8 is a far cry from where we are today with Logic Pro 10. Nonetheless, I felt instantly at home, and that was such a turning point. Despite the fact that I felt completely liberated by Logic Pro 8, it took a long time for me to achieve productions and recordings that I was proud of. I mean, it took me a long time. You got to take time to learn how to record, how to edit, how to mix. It also took me a long time to understand Logic Pro, despite the fact that I felt liberated. It was a bit confusing. And that really leads us into why I started Why Logic Pro Rules in 2017. So in between 2008 and 2017, I'm recording my own music, and then I start to slowly transition and morph into recording and editing and mixing other people's music. And all along the way, I'm learning about, recording and production and mixing and Logic Pro itself. And, us Logic Pro users are in a very unique basket as compared to other users of other DAWs. I mean, the parent company, Apple, that owns Logic Pro, let's just be honest. Logic Pro is such a small part of their business as compared to what they earn in revenue and sales when it comes to iPhones and watches and Apple Music and iPads and TV and all this stuff. So understandably so, us Logic Pro users might not get necessarily the attention and the support that you might get from other developers of other software, of other DAWs. And I'm not saying that in some sort of begrudging, like I'm angry at Apple sort of thing. It's not that at all. I mean, it's totally understandable. Logic Pro is one tiny facet of the overall business. So if you need help with Logic Pro, typically you got to go to Google, you got to go to YouTube and type in, hey, Google, I'm having a problem. How do I fix this? And for me, at least, I was very much in the early stages of Google and search engines and YouTube. And in my personal experience, when you search for solutions, you usually would end up on a forum. And there are some amazing forums out there. Specifically, I have to point out logicprohelp.com. It's been around forever. It's such a tremendous resource. And I just want to point out that I've purchased books from David, who runs the site. This is the 10.5 book. I went through the whole thing. I just purchased it because I was like, hey, we can all learn something from one another. I bet you I could learn something in this book. And I did. So that's just to say there are awesome resources all around. The point being, if you're a Logic Pro user, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to do some Googling for the answers to your questions. You're probably going to end up on a forum, at least I did. You're going to have to do digging. And if you pose a question on a forum, it's not necessarily always service with a smile. You'll probably get some responses, maybe some snarky responses, maybe some people who will help you, but begrudgingly. Or you might even run into folks who never found a solution to their problems. And so they're just posting, man, Logic Pro doesn't work. I hate this. I wish I never spent the money on this. And I'm telling you, especially now, 2022, we're almost in the year 2023. All the advancements over the last 10 years since the release of Logic Pro 10 in 2013, there is nothing that you can't do in Logic Pro, specifically right now. You can achieve anything you want. You just need to know how to do it. That's the difference. The difference is that gap in knowledge. And I just felt like, the users deserve support with a smile. They deserve someone who will be friendly and kind and understanding of the fact that maybe they're not an expert in this application. And I also felt that the Logic Pro user base deserved to see other Logic Pro users who are happy and satisfied and getting the results that they wanted from the application and are even excited about the application. It's not just folks on forums that are upset and complaining all day long. And because Apple, the company that owns Logic Pro, is not overtly marketing their Pro apps, they're not overtly educating the user base, and I'm not complaining, it's just a fact. It's just not the same as other DAWs and software. I just felt like, you know what? I'll be the guy who is doing the customer service on behalf of Logic Pro. I'll be the guy that will fly the flag that I'm proud and stoked about this application. I'll be the guy that tries to offer service with a smile, that's kind, that's friendly, and is just trying to help people get the most out of this amazing application. And that's not to suggest that I'm the first guy to show up on YouTube, on the internet, and start educating and offering videos and insights when it comes to Logic Pro. I mean, let's be honest, the music tech help guy. I'm a music mogul. SF Logic Ninja. There's several people on Instagram and other social media sources. Nonetheless, I just felt like I had a unique feeling about Logic Pro, a unique voice and angle, so I just decided to start doing it in 2017. And it's been nothing but fun for me. I mean, 2013 Logic Pro 10 came out, and we're in 2022 now. I've had nothing but fun posting videos and posts and trying to help everybody out as much as I can. It's been increasingly challenging over the last 5 years. Nonetheless, it's been awesome. And in 2022, over the last almost 10 years, we've received 7 major updates that we haven't had to pay for, 31 maintenance updates with thousands of bug fixes and enhancements. I mean, the commitment to innovating and improving Logic Pro has been tremendous, even if it's not overt. And I'm just so looking forward to the future of Logic Pro. And between live loops and spatial audio and dynamic plugin loading and Alchemy and Drummer, and there's so much available to us for creating and making awesome music. So I really do want to hear from you. I want to hear about your Logic Pro journey and how you ended up becoming a user of this amazing application. And I want to hear about what you love about the application as well, because there's so much to love. And if this video was helpful or entertaining or anything else for you, please subscribe to the channel, Why Logic Pro Rules, or subscribe on the website itself, whylogicprorules.com. Every week I'm posting new videos, emails, or posts to help you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro. Thanks so much.